Implementation of the National Fiberization and Connectivity Plan approved by Cabinet. Hello and good afternoon. I'm Mohana Priya. Welcome to News on 2. Malaysia and Vietnam agreed to strengthen cooperation and look for new economic opportunities to reduce trade imbalance between the two ASEAN countries. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad and his Vietnamese counterpart Nguyen Xuan Phuc yesterday said both countries had agreed to strengthen strategic cooperation in various sectors including defence, security, marine and fisheries, education, labour and tourism.
Both premiers also agreed to encourage investments in infrastructure, energy, high-tech agriculture, aquaculture, transport and logistics, as well as facilitate the networking of businesses in finding new opportunities.
Malaysia would like to see the trade grow in size, but with more imports by Malaysia from Vietnam in order to reduce the imbalance in the trade between our two countries.
The matter was announced at a joint press conference by Tun Dr. Mahathir and Nguyen after a delegation meeting yesterday. Tun Dr. Mahathir said Malaysia and Vietnam agreed to work together within ASEAN and make use of the economic bloc to grow their economies and to tackle problems in the world and the region in particular. On overlapping claims between the two countries, Tun Dr. Mahathir said disputes should be resolved in a peaceful manner through negotiations.
There are many other areas where we agree, and there are really few areas where we disagree, or rather where there is some dispute. But all this can be resolved between us in a friendly manner.
On another note, Nguyen Xuan Phuc said he had a fruitful discussion with Tun Dr. Mahathir and hoped to take the strategic partnership to new heights and ensure stronger growth in the future. He said Vietnam and Malaysia agreed to encourage Malaysia's Petronas Oil and Gas and Petro Vietnam to expand cooperation in oil and gas exploration, production and supply.
The Vietnamese premier said a suitable mechanism should be put in place to enable Vietnamese fishermen engage in legal, safe and sustainable fishing, as well as seek solutions together to ensure Vietnamese workers have stable livelihood and jobs with decent income. On Monday, both Tun Dr. Mahathir and Nguyen witnessed the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU between Vietnam Coast Guard and Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency MMEA, represented by Foreign Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah and the Vietnam's Chief of the General Staff cum Deputy National Defence Minister, Senior Lieutenant General Pan Van Yang. Both premiers also witnessed an exchange of letter on the establishment of Malaysia-Vietnam Parliamentary Friendship Group between Datuk Saifuddin and Minister and Chief of the Government Office Mai Thian Dung.
The Ministry of Communications and Multimedia wishes to announce that the implementation of the National Fiberization and Connectivity Plan (NFCP) has been approved by the Cabinet. In a statement by the Minister, Gobind Singh Deo, he said this 5-year plan from 2019 to 2023 is expected to cost 21.6 billion ringgit and will provide nationwide digital connectivity that is robust, pervasive, high quality and affordable for all Malaysians.
In line with the government's aspiration, the NFCP will bring together the people and businesses in its mission to develop the Malaysian digital economy in the fourth industrial revolution, IR 4.0, narrow the digital gap and generate a constructive environment for new technologies such as 5G. The NFCP focuses on fiber networks to enable greater digital connectivity. However, alternative technologies such as wireless networks and satellite technology will also be deployed wherever conducive. This is in line with the Shared Prosperity Initiative, in which rural areas will be able to enjoy high quality and high speed broadband access. A media briefing session and a launch ceremony of the NFCP project is expected to be held in mid-September, where further details will be given.
Education Minister Dr. Mazli Malik advised all parties to be rational and not emotional about the introduction of cut to Year 4 pupils of vernacular schools. He said education is an important investment to the younger generation and school is the best and safest place for a child to learn while their parents are at work.
Saya menyeru kepada semua pihak supaya kembali kepada rasional, kembali kepada common sense dan jangan terlalu emosional dan jangan terlalu ikutkan sangat perasaan, tetapi kita bersikap rasional dan pendidikan adalah satu pelaburan yang penting untuk anak-anak kita.
Dr. Mazli said this yesterday after officiating the National Education Research and Innovation Conference and Teachers Education Institute TEI Book Fair 2019 at the TEI Pulau Pinang campus.
2 schools in the Malaysian state of Johor that were closed because of a massive forest fire at Kampung Pekajang in Iskandar Puteri have reopened today. The schools, SK Tanjung Adang and SMK Tanjung Adang, will be opened but with precautionary measures in place. Namely, all students will have to wear face masks, while those with asthma and breathing difficulties have been told to stay at home.
According to Abdul Rahim Lamin, Deputy Director of School Management for Johor's Education Department, the Department of Environment's air quality monitoring results on Tuesday afternoon showed that the situation had improved. He said no smoke was detected in both the schools, adding that the fire near the schools has also been contained by the Fire and Rescue Department. The Deputy Director also thanked the fire service and other agencies involved with tackling the blaze. The fire had spread to a larger area of 98 hectares by Sunday, up from an estimated 16 hectares on Friday.
Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail yesterday received a courtesy call from the Secretary of the Russian Federation Security Council, Nikolai Patrushev, at Perdana Putra. Patrushev was accompanied by his deputies, Alexander Venediktov and Oleg Kramov, as well as the Russian ambassador to Malaysia, Valery Yermolov.
Also part of the delegation were the Russian Federation Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs Igor Zubov and Russian Federation Army General Oleg Salyukov. Among the matters discussed in the half-an-hour meeting were cooperation in enhancing family and children security through information sharing and cyber security. Both leaders were also keen to establish cultural cooperation between the two countries, as well as enhancing cooperation in women empowerment, since Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah is also the Women, Family and Community Development Minister. Patrushev and Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah also talked about annual security meeting between the Russian Federation Security Council and Malaysia's Defence Ministry, and about encouraging exchange of visits and engagements between the two countries in existing and future area of collaborations. Patrushev is on a 2-day working visit to Malaysia, which began yesterday. According to the Embassy of the Russian Federation's statement on Monday, Patrushev would take part in the Russian-Malaysian consultation on security matters during this visit.
Former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak, who is facing 7 charges of misappropriation of 42 million ringgit in SRC International Sembilan Berhad funds, will know his fate on 11th November. On that day, High Court Judge Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali, who presided over the trial, will make a decision whether to call Datuk Sri Najib to enter his defence or to acquit him from the charges.
Justice Muhammad Nazlan also fixed the 3rd to 4th of December, 9th until the 12th of December and 16th to the 19th December for Datuk Sri Najib to enter his defence if the court found that the prosecution has established a prima facie against the accused. Earlier, Datuk Sri Najib's lawyer, Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdullah, proposed for the defence case to start in January next year, as the defence team was engaged with Datuk Sri Najib's 1MDB's trial before another judge, which is scheduled to commence today until early November. Justice Nazlan, however, said it would be quite late for the defence to start its case in January 2020, as the prosecution has closed its case yesterday. Attorney General Tommy Thomas told Justice Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali that the prosecution was resting its case against Datuk Sri Najib after examining its last witness. 57 witnesses were called upon to provide their statements since the 3rd of April, which also saw 700 pieces of evidence presented. Additionally, Thomas informed the court that the prosecution would offer 66 witnesses to the defence, should defence be called.
Kedah Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Mukhrizdun Dr. Mahathir said he was thrilled to know that Qatar Airways' service expansion now includes the magnificent Langkawi, as this will definitely lead to greater opportunities, not only for Malaysia's burgeoning tourism industry, but also for Kedah as well. He added that Qatar Airways' service to Langkawi will soon bring the world right to the doorstep of the island, allowing them to experience the Langkawi UNESCO Global Geopark in all its majesty.
Bagi saya terlampau sikit lah jumlah penerbangan ke Pulau Langkawi. Tambahan lagi bila kita sudah mempunyai banyak hotel dan resort bertaraf 5 bintang, 6 bintang. Jadi sepatutnya pesawat yang beroperasi ke Langkawi ini adalah pesawat yang boleh membawa penumpang 5 bintang, 6 bintang ni. Jadi maksudnya full service airline.
Qatar Airways yesterday announced the launch of flights to Langkawi starting on the 15th of October 2019 as part of the airline's strong expansion plans in Southeast Asia and marks Qatar Airways' third destination in Malaysia after Kuala Lumpur and Pulau Pinang. Qatar Airways Group Chief Executive Mr. Akbar Al-Bakir said Langkawi is one of the most highly sought-after destinations in Malaysia and was certain that the airline's flights will help increase accessibility and boost inbound tourism to the beautiful archipelago.
Langkawi is a very sought-after destination. A lot of requests we are getting when we started Penang as to why we are not operating into Langkawi. Beyond Langkawi, Langkawi is not the last destination we are going to operate in this great country of Malaysia. We have some other destinations in mind too, which we will announce and start operating hopefully next year.
Qatar Airways will initially start with 4 times weekly Langkawi tag services via Penang, with an increase up to 5 times weekly services from the 27th of October 2019 on its state-of-the-art Boeing 787 Dreamliner aircraft, featuring 22 seats in business class and 232 seats in economy class, with spacious cabins and specially designed interiors.
Perdana Key Eco Marine Park is the first interactive sea water theme park in Asia. Eco Marine Park is a perfect holiday destination for the public to experience one-of-a-kind up-close interaction with marine life in a safe and ecological environment. Whether you are planning a family vacation or education tour or even team-building activities, Eco Marine Park offers unforgettable experiences and create memories that will last a lifetime.
Visitors will have the opportunity to swim with the sharks, rays and other sea creatures, as well as hand-feed the fishes. Besides having fun, visitors will be able to discover the fascinating facts and information related to marine life and conservation. Perdana Key Eco Marine Park Managing Director Kelvin Fu said the park, which is built in a 10-acre site, will be able to cater to some 3,000 visitors at one time.
You get to come to land and on a man-made pool, and you swim together with all these animals, and you experience all this macam you pergi laut lah. But here is safe. Safety is number one. Number two, you will learn a lot of things. You learn why about the corals, about animals, about all this, and of course we want to make sure the quality of it is high.
Speaking to reporters at the introduction and site visit session to the Seawater Theme Park site in Telaga Harbour, Langkawi, Kelvin said the park has its own marine life medical centre to care for marine life, with the experts in the field to watch over them. It also has a touch pool for education purpose, where visitors will get the chance to feel and be educated on the sensitive environment of marine life.
Khalid Al-Nama, the media relations senior officer for the Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup, says it's not impossible for Malaysia to pursue its dream to bid for the joint hosting job of the 2034 FIFA World Cup. He said the period of 15 years will give ample time for all 10 ASEAN members to discuss and work towards the idea of co-hosting the most prestigious football event in the world.
Qatar is a small nation, geographically speaking, and in terms of population. It's nothing if you compare it to Malaysia. And we could do the impossible by defeating US because we were, the finalists and the bid. Australia were also bidding with us to host the 2022. Once you keep this authenticity and you provide the world with whatever you have, not what the world will expect you to deliver, I think things should be perfect. Malaysia have, all the means to host any mega event, not just a sporting event.
Elaborating further, Khalid said it took Qatar some 12 years to prepare for the biggest event in world football, and development is still ongoing. Khalid said this after attending the Selangor International Sports Summit held in Petaling Jaya, Selangor, yesterday.
And that concludes this afternoon's News on 2. In our top story today, implementation of the National Fiberization and Connectivity Plan approved by Cabinet. Join us again at 7 this evening. Now, before we go, we leave you with the trailer of Indian actor Prabhas's new international action flick, Saho. Till then, I'm Mohana Priya. Thanks for watching.